Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Isabel and I work for the University of Chester. Some of you may have seen me briefly yesterday. Today, I'm going to sort of talk through a little bit, just linking higher education into your pathway, and then some of the courses that might relate to the areas you're interested in. So in terms of what we've got available, higher education is your study beyond level 3 or equivalent, so BTEC's A levels. So looking towards studying a degree that will usually take 3 years or more. If you've just heard Harper, there's a 4 years because they all have the placement in. So that's something to be aware of, that there will be different lengths of courses available. You've then got the degree apprenticeships as well. So that's where you will work full time and you'll study towards your degree at the same time. This can be a really useful route for some people who don't want to go to university full time. However, not all career areas have degree apprenticeships available yet. You may find yourself wanting to do study even further than your degree, in which case you'd be looking at postgrad study. Throughout all the degrees and all the courses, we aim to get our students to acquire a range of employability skills through work-based learning placements, through the different styles of learning, the different styles of assessment we do, and lots of transferable skills, so that whatever course you do, you're prepared to go on to work or further study. We're also currently obviously offering a blended learning approach. We've worked really hard to make sure it's safe, and the remote learning online is something we possibly will take forward into the future as well. So obviously, in order to get into university, you need to have qualifications that are at level 3 or equivalent. For the University of Chester, most of our courses, you're looking at, if you're doing A-levels, getting at least 3 Bs or 2 Bs and a C, which for a BTEC's distinction merit. There are so many courses out there, and we have different grade profiles or sort of different points dependent on what the course is. So if you're not sure or you're doing a different combination, just get in touch with our admissions team to confirm what criteria you'll need. The important thing to look at when looking at university is what subjects you require for that course. And also, don't forget that for degree apprenticeships, you've still got to get the requirement for the degree, and you'll probably have to interview or do an application form as well for the employer. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be an easy route into the degree, because you still need to have the level we're asking for from us, same as other students. It's really good to have a look now at what's out there to think about what the best route is into your future career. And that's why we bring in higher education at this stage, so you can start to plan ahead. So the University of Chester, we were founded in 1839, and at that stage we were a purpose-built teacher training college. We've worked our way through a whole range of courses, and we got university status several years ago now. And now we offer up to 500 courses. It's about 477, although that changes every year as we change the profile of courses to meet the needs of the businesses and students around us. We're not a massive university, so we're bigger than Harper, which is a much smaller institution than us, I think, but we're not as big as some of the big city universities like Manchester or somewhere like Keele. We do offer a broad range of teaching expertise, and we use both some of our older buildings that were there from the start and more purpose-built facilities. We have our main sites in Chester, a site in Warrington, and then we have our separate institution, the University Centre Shrewsbury, which is linked to us and takes the expertise from us, but has its own identity. So just to give you an idea from where you are now, Shrewsbury's not that far away. If you go past Shrewsbury and basically carry on north before you hit Liverpool, you'll come to Chester. We're within easy access of places like North Wales, not that far on the train from Liverpool or Manchester. So although Chester itself is a much smaller city, you get that opportunity to live in a smaller environment while also having access to really big cities. So just to give you an idea, here's some of our sites in Chester. The top picture on the right, you can actually see our chapel, which is part of the old area in Chester. You've then got your business school, the arts centre, and the health and social care education building. All those sites are in and around Chester. Chester itself, you can walk across in about 25 minutes. So for whichever site you're on, they're not far away. Most of our engineering courses and our sciences are either already based at the Parkgate Road site or are moving there. So I think for a lot of you, that might be where you'd be looking. However, there are other courses you can consider as well. And then we've got the Warrington site. As I say, we have our separate institution in Shrewsbury, and the things of interest there might be things like the life sciences and the business, depending on what route you're going to take from here. So as I say, we've got a wide range of courses. And when I was preparing for this, it got me thinking about what sort of things do people need to go into transport and logistics as well as engineering. Lots of companies offer what we call graduate schemes. So although you can get jobs and apprenticeships in lots of the industries linked to this subject area, actually, there are many companies that offer a graduate scheme and you don't need a specific degree. What you would do then is, having got your degree and got into a graduate scheme, they would then give you experience in all the areas of the company before you settle on your preferred area of work. What they're most interested in is your specific skill set, decision making, analytical skills, people skills, the ability to take on a responsibility. A new and key area of development is the environmental sustainability, which is where some of the courses at Shrewsbury might link in, because there's a business with sustainability course recently started there. It's really useful to actually look now and see what skills are being asked for, and therefore you can gradually build that experience as a student. So specific degrees that a lot of these companies ask for could be business or supply chain related, or economics, your engineering, your maths, geography, might be a surprise. There are degrees in things like transport planning, but also think about the environmental science. When they're putting in things like the HS2 link, there's loads of jobs around that are not just the people who are putting the lines down and building them, or the people who are transport planning the trains, but all the things that go around that. And then geographical information systems is an interesting one. I know somebody who, having done a degree in that, not at Chester, elsewhere, works a lot with drones and has recently started a new job where he specifically works with the rail network, and they use drones and survey the rail network and help the engineers work out what needs doing. So there's lots of jobs that you might not realise in this area. It's not just the obvious ones. So at Chester itself, we've got our engineering degrees, which I talked about briefly yesterday as well, our chemical engineering and our electronic and electrical engineering. But then we do maths, we've got geography, we've got business courses, we've got economics, and then physics, chemistry, and biological sciences. I think there are a wide range of courses we offer that you could link in. You might even consider things like languages, because if you're working in transport and logistics, how many of those businesses work across the EU or worldwide? That could be a really useful skill to take into those industries. So although there are specific degrees out there for this field, you might find something, and it's about doing that research to see what route you want to take and how you're going to get there. Just to give you an idea of some of the things we're looking for, our engineering courses, generally maths is a key subject, and science. We'd recommend you take a maths module in mechanics. If you're going off to do a BTEC in engineering, be aware that for electrical and electronic, they're not that keen on the BTEC in engineering. And for chemical, they ask for you to have the chemistry alongside. For economics, there's a key one there. You would need a GCSE maths grade 5 or 6 if you're thinking of doing that. If you did an A-level core maths, that then drops to 4 or 5. For geography, obviously you need something within that field to get onto the geography, and there are other requirements as well. I haven't listed them all, but if you go on the website, every course has a page which tells you what the requirements are, or you can get in touch with us directly. So just to give you an idea of some of the things we've got on offer within these courses that might encourage you to have a look at us, we have some new facilities being built for engineering. They're currently based on an old research site just outside Ellesmere Port near Cheshire Oaks, if any of you like shopping. We're actually moving them back more centrally, and from April 2021 they'll be back on our main campus with specific facilities built for the engineering guys. They're really good at their industry links. They do a lot of networking. They do lots of projects and work-based learning. So everything's quite hands-on and how you'd use it in industry. Maths, it tends to focus on the applied computational side, and they've linked quite closely with engineering in the last few years. Most of those courses you get like really good or 100% student satisfaction rate in surveys. So the students really feel valued and get a lot out of those courses. Business is very similar in its industry links. They do a lot of learning into practice through enterprise, through community work as well. Geography is looking at understanding and addressing the world's most pressing social and environmental challenges. There are lots of geography courses out there, lots of different topics you can take. It's definitely worth looking really closely at what you might be able to do. We do have field work you can do overseas. We have some geographical information system training. So there's lots of things there that might link into these industries. The economics itself is quite a new course. It's evolving a lot, but it's very much rooted in the current areas of social and political science. So again, it's enhancing your employability, giving you skills for the future. Obviously, at the moment, you can't physically come and visit us, but we have had some virtual open days. We have another one in December. There's loads of information on the website, as well as a function to ask students and staff questions. We've got lots of blogs going up there. We've got kitchen sessions, which is where our lecturers bring you a short taster lecture from their homes, and that is an expanding programme. We've had a number of STEM outreach activities over the last few years, and we're really developing this in the next few years as well. And just look at all the subject-based and university-wide social media accounts. I know some of our lecturers are really good at posting the kind of things they've been up to with the students. Overall, the university is really keen to make you a student who's connected, who has the opportunities to go out there and develop and be ready to be employed. We have a really good employment rate of around 96%. And we also are really keen to support our students and offer a really good opportunity to them. Those are the kind of things you want to look at. You want to get a feel for what you want and then how those universities match to you. So as I say, not all students, not all people have to go to university. It is a choice you can make at any time after 18. And it's about deciding what path is going to give you the most options in the future and is going to suit you. Have a look, try and find out more. There's lots on the websites, and please do ask questions if there's any further information you require.